And as flooding from the ongoing heavy rains continue causing havoc across the country, hydroelectric dams have filled to capacity, raising hopes of a possible drop in the cost of power. Victor Kiprop visited the Seven Forks hydroelectric power system with a capacity of about 600 megawatts and now tells us that the dams may be full, tells us why the dams are full and why the destructive floods could also mean cheaper power.
As the heavy rains continue pounding different parts of the country, leaving behind a trail of destruction and loss of lives, the 5 Seven Forks hydroelectric power dams are full to capacity. At the Masinga Dam, for instance, the water levels are at a record high.
As at this morning, this is Masinga Dam. We were at 1058.12, which is a record high level, which has never been seen before. From
Masinga Dam, the main reservoir to the Seven Forks hydropower system, to Kamburu, Gitaru, Kindaruma and Kiambere, the last dam in the cascade, the dams are full to their designed capacities, meaning more water is now flowing back to Tana River, which has already burst its banks, displacing thousands of people downstream.
Downstream, it takes about 7 days from water to reach Garissa, and we started giving alerts almost 2 weeks ago. So people are already evacuated and people are already on higher ground. So by the time the water reaches...
Do not have an option. We are moving some people out by force. We have instructed the county commissioners and the county security teams in Garissa and in Tana River to move everyone on those ways away from there, even if it means putting them on lorries ourselves and getting them out of danger.
World over, hydropower remains one of the cheapest sources of energy. And with the 5 Seven Forks dams, which cumulatively generate about 600 megawatts of electricity already full of water, the question remains, will Kenyans be able to see a drop in the cost of electricity in the coming days?
The dispatch that's available, we are trying to optimize hydro so that we are able to ensure that we also contribute to a cheap power during this hard time for the country.
High water levels in the dams should see a surge in the amount of power produced using hydro plants, while cutting back reliance on the costlier thermal power plants. However, the cost of power in the country has always remained high.
I may not have the figure currently, because that is a preserve of national control of Kenya Power. But what I know, yes, generally we have more uptake of hydro at the moment to take.
Shokonas. Efforts by NTV to have the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority EPRA to comment on the matter proved futile. According to the 2020 economic survey, geothermal remains Kenya's biggest source of energy at about 45%, followed by hydro at 28%, wind at 13%, and thermal at 11%. Victor Kiprop, NTV.
Floods continue to devastate parts of the country. The Water Resource Authority is now warning that the continued heavy rain, coupled with already rising river levels in several parts of the country, should keep communities in the area on high alert.
300 families have been displaced and 4 people have died after heavy floods rendered a bridge impassable in Baringo County. The bridge connecting River Kibingor and Kipcherer has been swept off by raging floods of Endau River, disconnecting transport and communication in parts of Marigat ward.
Kwa upande ya wamama si tuko na shida kabisa. Wamama wengi wamejifungua kwa huko barabarani. Wakifika hata hapa kama mto imefurika wanabidi tu kurudi nyumbani ama wengine wasae tu kwa hapo njiani.
But it was not the only place affected.
Bonjo's location is now locked down. Not because of corona, not because of anything else, but because of flooding and because of landslide. The road between Getmoy to Kibonjo's primary has been cut in between. Again, the road from Kaptich, the exit Kaptich to Kibonjo's has been cut down at a place called Kaptich, locking down the entire lower parts of Kibonjo's location.
As a result, the MCA appealed to the national government and county government to look into a multi-sectoral approach when it comes to disaster preparedness. The Kenya Meteorological Department has warned communities near the Lake Victoria Basin, Upper and Middle Tana Basin, Upper Athi Basin, and parts of the Rift Valley to stay on high alert as heavy rains continue and river levels expected to remain high. Other river basins of concern include Kipsonoe, Enkarer, Narok, Lower Sondu, Lower Yala, Lower Gusha Migori, Awash Kibuon, Lower Nyando, Lake Victoria, and Rift Valley lakes. Those in high-risk areas are being advised to evacuate to higher and safer ground, pre-treat water for domestic use, approach river crossings with caution, and be aware of open channels and manholes during the floods. Anita Nkonge, NTV.